Good morning and welcome to your third week of online learning. We are cruising through these weeks, let me tell you. I don't know about you guys, but it's going super fast for me. So I wanted to take a second today and show you your new game for this week. So let me pull out the game. First thing, you're going to need a few supplies. One in your packet of things. You should have gotten two sets of circles that kind of look like this, and you were supposed to color basically one sheet blue and one sheet red. I think it was 10 and 10 per page, but they look like this. You're gonna need those today. Obviously, when they're cleaned up and cut out, they'll look a little bit nicer. They look kind of like that. And there was a piece in there that made a dice. I already cut mine out, so you didn't have to watch me cutting it, but it had like a full sheet of paper and then this picture inside. When you're all done, it rolls up into a dice if you don't already have some. If you want to pull it out of another game or anything like that, that's fine. But if you don't have dice at home, this will make one. The way you do it is cut everything out, just like I have mine, and then you kind of just start folding it up into a cube. I went through when I did mine and kind of pre-folded everything towards the middle, so that it went and kind of held its shape while I was trying to do things. And then you can either glue it, or I taped mine just because it seemed easier than trying to glue stuff. But you can do whatever you've got with whatever supplies you've got. I know your packet came with glue, so some of you might have that. The other thing you got to do is really fold in those tabs that are on there too, because eventually when you fold up this side, that tab and this tab, you see how they kind of tuck into themselves right there? That's where you're actually going to tape. And then eventually when you start folding up all those sides, this top one will rest on all those little tabs until you get this guy. And you are going to need a dice for this game. Just one though. So let me show you really fast what the game sheet looks like. It's a pretty self-explanatory game. It's actually just a get to the end of the board before anybody else does. It's the work along the way that makes it a little bit different. So, it says everybody starts on the start box. That makes sense. Take turns to roll a number cube, that's your dice, and move forward that number of spaces along the path. Solve the multiplication problem you land on, or follow the instruction you land on. Like somewhere on there it says move back 3, so you'd move back 3 and then solve the multiplication problem. It says a partner uses a calculator to check each other's work. If you don't have a calculator, most phones have one built into them, but if you don't have one, you can just everybody hand do the problem and compare your answers and decide who's right. And then a player who gives an incorrect product must miss a turn. So if you don't get the math problem correct, you lose your next turn and the other person gets to go twice. And you keep playing until somebody gets to the end. So here's your thing. Let me pull your game sheet out. Here's the board. Like I said, everybody starts here. You can use these two if you want for your pieces if you don't have anything else. For my brain, they're a little bit big, but you can use them. It doesn't really matter what your pieces are as long as you can tell them apart. So I pulled out a red and a blue paper clip, something a little bit smaller. That would work. So if I was going first, I would roll. I got a 2, so I'd move my guy here. And now on a separate sheet of paper or something, I have to solve what is 21 times 242. So I do all my math and I figure out it's 5,082. You can check me if you want, but I'm right. So I get to stay there. Now it's my partner's turn. They roll a 2 as well. Lucky them. They have to do the math and figure out that if the same way that I got the answer, they should, because they already know what the answer is. And it would be the next turn. I roll a 1. So now I'm here. Let's say I get it wrong this time. Now I have to sit here a whole turn while you go twice and win. Let's say they end up here. On my next turn, I go here. And it says go back 3, so I have to go right back to where I just was and do that problem again. Other than that, you keep going back and forth until somebody gets to the end. Have a great day, guys.